such a joy to, cool, but everything's running good, so we're gonna stick on the stage 2 and then give it another go. Yeah.
And then this would pick up a bit more here.
So guys, that was a bit disappointing. Good morning people, it's a lovely day here in London, and as you just heard, my M135 is still sounding amazing, but we're going to be doing some all-important mods today before we take it down to a rolling road. We're going to be remapping it to stage 2+, and there's going to be so much more to come in this episode, but before we do, check this out. If you remember in the last episode, I said we're going to be choosing some tips for the car, so I'm going to be putting on the carbon tips because you asked me to put on the carbon tips and I always listen, so we're going to go for the carbon tips. And remember, I'm going to be giving away the other set of matte black tips, so stay tuned for that. I'm going to announce the winner later on. But check this out, whilst the car's up on the ramp getting the tips done, I also went ahead and I got myself a Bmw Oem under brace. This is going to improve the handling, make that rear end a bit more tighter, and we're just going to continue modding this car and making it even better. So guys, I've got a front brace as well, and I've got some other bits. We're gonna be doing so much, but for now, let's get the car in there, up on the ramp, get started. There's no better sounding car here.
You don't know what we're gonna do.
Out with the old. Oh, yes. Guys, how far out should I leave it? I think it's perfect the way it is, man. You guys were right. The carbon ones do look better, and it ties everything in with the carbon up here. So guys, just for reference, these were the other options. These were the Miltex that I was gonna put on, but you guys voted in the last episode, and definitely, I like what I see. In the box, they weren't that bad. In the box, they was like, but definitely on the car, man, it literally looks, yeah, that looks good. That was really good. That was really, really good. Let's buckle that down, and then we're gonna start to fit this brace, get this bad boy onto the car. So it was just a matter of positioning the tips and making sure we were happy with the extensions on them. And with that done, it was simply a matter of tightening up a few bolts on the underside. And guys, check it out. You guys chose in the last episode to go with the carbon tips, and I have to admit, you guys were right. The carbon tips look absolutely mental on this car, and it really sets off the rear end. The guys from Carbon Accents completely hooked it up. With all of that done, it was time now to replace this old bracket with the bracket that's got the strut brace built into it. These are standard on the M cars, but on my M135i, I had to buy these two mounts and replace that existing bracket to give that rear end the extra stiffening that it needs. Yeah, man. After loosely fitting everything together, we were able to transfer a few plastic mounts and tighten everything down, and that was it. The brace was in place. That's going to be like another 20 brake horsepower, yeah? And that's it for the install. Everything is tightened down, everything looks great. Now it's time to get the car down, and we're going to see how everything is looking. definitely added another 20 brake horsepower.
Yeah, man.
It looks amazing. Guys, definitely let me know what you think of these. Alright guys, so it's the next day here, and this thing, trust me, this thing is becoming even more of a beast. And with all of that power, remember in this episode, I'm going to be installing the MHD Stage 2 Plus, which should take this car to about 420, 430, and there's a little bit more, but that's the limitations of a stock fueling system and stock turbo. But we're going to be doing that later on in this episode. But the next thing that I want to install is this bad boy here, and that's that top brace from Ultra Racing, and that's going to go across right there. I've already fitted the rear brace yesterday. Now it's time to fit the top brace, and that's going to improve the handling on this car tenfold. So let's do that, and then we're going to start the install of the MHD Stage 2. As soon as I bought my Bmw M135i, I knew that I wanted one of these braces from Ultra Racing, and it's finally here, and now it was time to get it on the car. It's a straightforward install, just had to loosen up a few nuts, put it in place, and then replace the same nuts into the same holes. With everything bolted down, I just had to replace my trim pieces, and there we have it. The Ultra Racing top brace is installed, and I just had to remove that haze, check it, and there we have it. This thing is going to transform this car. Good morning guys, it's a freezing morning here. The weather in London is just so up and down. At the beginning of this video, it was so sunny, so nice, so warm, and literally about a few days later and it's just freezing. But anyway, it's the next morning here. Yesterday we installed that strut brace from the guys over at Ultra Racing, and I feel now that the handling on this car is gonna be on point. I just gave you a cold start, literally freezing start, not just a cold start. We're gonna go see the guys from All Motion Performance and Tuning, where I want to get some data logs on the car. I'm gonna be doing a stock run on the dyno, and then I'm gonna be installing the MHD Stage 2 Plus, and we're gonna be doing some before and after runs. It's gonna be a fun day. We've got an early start. Like, this episode is gonna be so epic, and I hope you guys are enjoying it. So let's get out of here, man. Guys, the guys from MHD Tuning, like I said, they sent me out their tuning box, and they've also sent me out a ton of maps, and we're going to be experimenting with the maps, and we're going to be having some fun, and you guys get to tag along with it. I'm so excited. We're making my way down to Bermondsey. I'm going to meet one of my mates down there. Such a joy such a joy to drive, man. It's been a very long time since I've had a car that gives me this much joy every time I drive it. And if you know, you know. If you've got a car like that, you know what I'm talking about. The sun's up, and we're gonna go get my car remapped, baby. so I've come on down to All Motion Performance, where we're going to be getting some work done on the Bmw M135i. We're going to be sticking it on the dyno, and we're going to be seeing what this thing is making. At the moment, it's running stock power. We're going to do a before and after run, and obviously in the middle, we're going to be installing the MHD Stage 2 Plus. The guys here, they know their stuff. They're really good. So let's move some cars, get the car inside, get it on the dyno, see what's going on. After having a brief chat with Dave, the owner here at All Motion Tuning and Performance, it was time to get the car inside, get it all set up on the dyno, and hopefully we'll be installing the MHD Stage 2 Plus and hopefully putting down some serious power. With everything set up, we left the car on the dyno just to warm up. We left it running for a few minutes to make sure that the engine, all the fluids were at optimum temperatures for tuning. So guys, that was just a test run. Dave is now going to get back in and set it up again, and we're going to be testing it. Hopefully we get good powers, and then I'm going to be installing everything. So here goes the first run on my Bmw M135i since I've rebuilt it. I was very nervous because we've never really pushed the engine to these limits since we've rebuilt the car, and not knowing the full history of the car, then yeah, it was a bit worrying. However, the car came through it unscathed, and we managed to make some decent power based off the stock figures. What am I getting now?
316 and 434 newton meters. It's okay.
So it's okay. Stock
Yeah,
figures
yeah.
is meant to be running 320.
Yeah, 320. Yeah. So
and
yeah.
it's running
So
316.
yeah, 316.
Spot on.
So
I'm
yeah.
happy.
So yeah, and car with 40,000 miles. You know, it's not. Yeah, not bad.
Spot on, man. Thank you, Dave. Now that we've got a base map of what my car is running, I'm going to be installing the Stage 2 Plus map from MHD Tuning. So let's get that out.
Just think, obviously, a refresh on plugs and maybe some coils.
Yeah, definitely. I'll give it a service once I get back.
Yeah, we should be good.
Cool, but everything's running good, so we're going to stick on the
Stage 2.
Stage 2 and then give it another go.
Yep.
Cool, man. Right, guys, so I'm a very happy bunny. I'm pushing 316 to the wheels, so I'm going to go ahead. MHD sent me out this, as I said at the beginning of the video. All it takes is to plug this into the car. I've got the app on my phone. They've emailed me the maps as well, and it literally takes a few minutes, so let go. So guys, I'm gonna screen record all of this, and you're gonna see it on the screen. I'll probably put it somewhere right there. I've just connected the MHD dongle, and it's simple. All I need to do is open up the app, and then we'll get started. So with the app open, I'm gonna click flash a map. It's gonna say connecting to the DME, which is connecting. As you can see here, I've got stage 0, 1, 2, and 2 plus. I'm gonna go straight to 2 plus. I'm gonna do this in RON, I believe it is. I believe it's RON that we use in the UK, and the premium fuel is 98 RON, I believe. So I'm gonna be installing the stage 2 plus map that's made for 98 RON, and I've got that. I've selected 98 RON. So here we go, connecting to the DME. I'm gonna double check my burble settings because I want a little bit of feedback from my exhaust. Aftermarket DP, I've got that. The overrun BRAP, that's like a DSG fart, I like that, so I've got that on there. And I'm gonna set the aggressiveness to hard. Let's see how it sounds once it is hard. Other than that, everything else is OEM, OEM, OEM. Oh, the exhaust flap always open in sports mode. I want that. So basically, if I want it to be quiet, I put it in comfort. If I want it to be loud, I put it in sport. And it's gonna open the second exhaust flap for the left side of the exhaust. So all my settings are good there. So then there we go. Map right, we're right. And that's it, we're right in stage 2 plus to the car. Let's see how long it's gonna take. So connecting, communicating, and it literally, so it's working. it's probably going to be like 2 minutes. "25 seconds left." That is crazy fast. Crazy fast. Stage 2 plus installed in 25 seconds. 15 seconds left. 51%. 60%. All on the iPhone. So now it's gonna code and it's gonna clear everything. And you can hear it ticking. I don't know if you can hear it. Cameraman, you can hear it ticking, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's it. Clearing codes. Success. Wait 30 seconds. So now we're gonna wait 30 seconds, plug everything up, but hold on, I've actually got a little surprise. So if I come out of there, XHP have also sponsored this build, and I'm going to be installing the stage 3 gearbox map to really set off the stage 2 plus from MHD. And if you don't know, the two companies have merged and they're working together, and this app now works with the MHD flashing tool. I went ahead and I installed that off camera, and as you can see right here, it's got the stage 3 version 3.5. There is a stage 4, but that's for the racetrack, and I don't really want to break anything, so I'm going to keep it at stage 3. Anyway, let's go take the car for a second run and see what we're doing with stage 2. Guys, on the stage 2 plus, let me know in the comments right now what you think it's going to run. I'm excited. I'm expecting around 420. So from 320 to 420, if I can get 420, I'll be a happy chappy.
Now during this second run, Dave, he had to abort several times. The engine kept blipping slash, I don't know what to call it, bit of a misfire, and then he came and explained.
The ignition graph is terrible. The ignition graph is terrible. So this should be one smooth line.
Yeah.
And then obviously that is where you got breakaway and all your ignition.
Yeah.
Now that could also be down to your spark plug still.
Yeah.
Bad fuel, or the map isn't really suited for your car. Obviously we need some work. Obviously I would recommend plugs, coils first, and then see whether it improves or a better octane fuel.
So guys, to eliminate any fueling issues, we went ahead and we added 2 liters of high octane race fuel. This will top up the octane levels in the fuel tank and eliminate the fueling issues if we had any. So after that, we did another run. Now if you look at the 2 lines on the graph, one is the Newton meters of torque and one is the HP. And as you can see, in the lower and mid ranges, it's on an upward trajectory. We're making power, but in the top end, it's going down. We're actually losing power instead of making power. And this was the story of the day. We did about 3 runs with the new fuel and they all ended the same. That's right guys, a 4 brake horsepower increase from stage 1 to stage 2.
Let's have a look. 316, there we were. And then that one. So that's your torque increase there. And your low end power and your low end torque is up.
Yeah.
Mostly 10%. But then obviously when you get to the top where you need the ignition to come in to build the power, it's pulling all the ignition out because obviously you've got a poor ignition circuit. Hence the reason why you actually lose power rather than gain power.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So that's why I felt it, but it's not really giving the full.
So I mean, you're about 90 newton meters up from where you were over stock.
Yeah.
So
and that's what I'm feeling.
That's
in
what
the
you're feeling in the low down. So yeah.
All right. So guys, that was a bit disappointing. We did not make any much more power, but I think the car needs a full service and we need to get some special plugs in, get them specially gapped, install them, and we're gonna come back and we're gonna be doing that in a future video. So, a bit disappointing, but at least we're in the right direction. Yeah.
And then this would pick up a bit more here if you had more ignition.
Yeah. So problem with my ignition?
Yes.
Coils or plugs. So Dave, what do you recommend? So start with the spark plugs and coils first.
Yep, spark plugs and coils.
Yeah.
Gap plugs, and check the intake for carbon build up,
Yeah.
and then yeah, rerun it and see where we get.
Okay, I'll be back.
Well, so as lovely as my car looks, as much work as we've put into the rebuild, it's left a real sour taste in my mouth, and yeah, I have to, I don't know, take it back.
Dave, thank you very much, man. I'm gonna go home, lick in my wounds, but I'll be back. So guys, there you have it. Things didn't go to plan. I'm literally very deflated right now, but this is Salvage Nation and we got to keep it moving. And this is where we're gonna end this episode. My car kind of flopped. It did. My M135i flopped today, but we're gonna do everything that Dave said to do. We're gonna give it a service, check over everything, and we're gonna be back and we're gonna be making decent power, I'm sure of it. So this is where we're gonna head off. I'm gonna drive all the way back. So yeah, like I always say, guys, keep it moving, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching. Click here to see what YouTube thinks you should watch. Click here to watch one of my previous episodes. And like it said there, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. We out.